Good morning and welcome to the Talk of the Town. I'm Sonali Vanigabaduge. Joining me this morning is Piumi Madushani, Program Manager at Transparency International Sri Lanka. Good morning and welcome to the show, Piumi.
Good morning, Sonali.
Piumi, it is often said that bribery and corruption is deeply entrenched in the fabric of Sri Lankan society. And post Aragalaya, post declaring bankruptcy, there have been demands for more conscionable governance. There have been IMF proposed reforms, civil society backed reforms, one of which is the Anti Corruption Act, which was recently enacted. And I'd like to get your perspectives on connecting the Anti Corruption Act implementation with the Commission to investigate allegations of bribery or corruption, because it's important that people also have this education.
Of course. So when people's movement occurred, it was because Sri Lanka had hit the biggest economic crisis in the history, and people could not afford their basic needs. And for the first time in history, Sri Lanka had defaulted its debt. So I think there was a common understanding among the people that for this crisis, corruption is one of the main root causes. And of course, there was a clear demand from the public for transparent and accountable governance, as well as to address this bigger problem of corruption in the country. Experts, as well as international donor organizations such as IMF, have been recommending reforms as a solution. And under these reforms, implementation of the new Anti-Corruption Act plays a crucial role. And as the authority to implement the Anti-Corruption Act, the Bribery Commission also has a key role to play, because there have been grand corruption issues happening in the country and no one has been addressing those. So with the new powers given to the Bribery Commission, now they have enough independence and powers to address grand corruption proactively.
Piumi, the ground reality is that everything in Sri Lanka is so politicized. Government agencies struggle to do their job because of this politicization. So how must the Bribery Commission do its job in tackling issues of grand corruption as they should? And how do they gain public trust in light of this politicization?
If you look at the international legal instruments like UNCAC, United Nations Convention Against Corruption, and also international best practices, states need to have a body to prevent and fight against corruption through law enforcement, and that need to be independent without undue influence, and also need to have enough resources and expertise to address systemic corruption issues. So when it comes to the anti-corruption strategy of the Bribery Commission, it can include deterrence, prevention, as well as education as well. But having prevention and education is not enough when there are grand corruption scandals going on. So in order to address those, they need to consider, they can have investigations and cases going on, but do they really address the issues in the moment? So in order to get public trust, they need to be more accountable, they need to act proactively and fast to address grand corruption issues in the country. And in that way, I think when they gain public trust, public will come forward to report and complain on corruption.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much, Piumi Madushani, Program Manager, Political Sector, Transparency International Sri Lanka, for joining us on this edition of the Talk of the Town. It's back to the studio.